Now, there are 3 guided missile destroyers deploying off the coast of Venezuela.
There are designated narco-terrorist groups operating in the region, some of them utilizing international airspace, international waters.
Some news outlets also reporting that the ships should arrive there imminently off the coast of Venezuela. So this will bring the military posture to about...
At 1:30 a.m., the USS Normandy opens every Tomahawk launch tube. Hundreds of missiles streak toward Caracas in a single coordinated wave. Venezuela's S-300 screens light up, but within seconds, operators see nothing but unreadable chaos. The system built to defend the capital can't breathe under the pressure of saturation. So how does even an advanced air defense collapse so quickly under modern precision warfare? And what does it mean for the cities, the civilians, and the chain of command that rely on it? Stay with us because the answer changes how wars are fought today. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine a radar screen so filled with targets that each sweep becomes a blur of overlapping symbols. The operators squint at the glowing wall of moving dots, unable to tell which belong to real missiles and which are decoys. That instant of confusion is not just a mistake, it is the first step of defense collapsing. For Venezuela, the heart of its air protection rests on a familiar system.
Now, there are 3 guided missile destroyers deploying off the coast of Venezuela.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro announcing on Monday that his country will mobilize more than 4 million militia members.
The Russian-built S-300. It stands as the shield of Caracas, a network of launchers, radars, and sensors intended to hold the sky against enemy aircraft and missiles. To military planners inside the capital, it was supposed to be enough. With its reputation for intercepting multiple threats from different directions at once, the S-300 fostered the belief that cruise missiles would struggle to penetrate the city's wall of defense.
It's all part of President Trump's plan to help combat drug cartels in Latin America.
To transit poison into the United States. And those groups will be confronted. The president's made that clear from the time he operated.
But when the attack came, belief and reality split apart in seconds. Saturation does not test a defense by sending 1 or 2 missiles. It breaks it by striking everywhere at once. Think of dozens of sea-launched Tomahawks rising from the horizon, each hugging the terrain at low altitude, weaving through hills, rivers, and cities to mask their approach. Land-based radar scans outward and reports more tracks than a single crew can process. For every missile intercepted, 10 more remain unchecked, each drawing closer. That is the simple arithmetic of overwhelming force.
The U.S. has slowly been building up a large military presence in the Caribbean near Venezuela.
There are designated narco-terrorist groups operating in the region, some of them utilizing international airspace, international waters.
On the deck of the USS Normandy, launch order sequences open like clockwork. Containers flung open, ignition roared, and columns of smoke marked the release of over 100 missiles in minutes. Each one flew independently, armed with precision guidance and a mission tied to fixed Venezuelan infrastructure. Timing was everything. The first salvo did not intend to destroy, it intended to blind. It targeted the rhythm and pace of the country's defenders, striking faster than they could calculate, faster than they could turn commands into action.
Told Scripps News that the move is part of President Donald Trump's effort to combat those threats from Latin American drug cartels. Some news outlets also reporting that the ships should arrive there imminently off the coast of Venezuela. So this will bring the military posture to about...
The S-300 system was engineered to track multiple incoming targets, but only within limits. At best, it can calculate paths for a manageable number of missiles at the same time. When the volume spikes into the hundreds, the math collapses. Imagine a traffic controller at an airport accustomed to handling a steady stream of arrivals. Now place hundreds of planes above a single runway, all requesting permission to land at once. No matter how skilled the controller, the runway cannot expand, and the brain cannot process infinite demands in real time. That level of overload leaves only one option: chaos. This was not the first time a defense network confronted saturation tactics. In several modern conflicts, from the Middle East to Eastern Europe, smaller air defense systems crumbled when barrages of rockets or drones swamped radar. Even the most advanced tracking arrays can be manipulated once attackers spread out.
Guided missile destroyers, the USS Gravely, USS Jason Dunham, and the USS Sampson are being deployed in these efforts with 4,000 sailors and Marines. And the broader region will also have several P-8 spy planes. He said in this televised address on Monday that we will, quote, defend our seas, our skies, and our lands. We liberated them. We guard and patrol them.
Vary altitudes and launch with coordinated timing. A single intercept is a technical challenge, but hundreds of them moving at different speeds overwhelm even sophisticated equipment. The operators are not just wrestling with signals, they are drowning in them. Within seconds of the Normandy's opening wave, Venezuelan radars lit up beyond recognition. Control screens turned cluttered, making it impossible to isolate tracks without sacrificing others. Decisions that normally take minutes were squeezed into seconds, and those seconds were gone before anyone could react. The air defense eyes of the capital went blind, not because they stopped working, but because they had too much to see. Once the screens became unreadable, command and control fractured. Units waited for clear orders, but those orders could not come fast enough. The first explosions tore into radar stations along the coast, followed by strikes on known launcher sites. Analysts observed that Tomahawks did not simply go after the shields. They went after the nerves of the system, the communication lines that connected commanders to operators. When those cables and transmitters went silent, each launcher became isolated. A net only works when the links hold together. Cut enough lines and the shield becomes patchwork. The collapse of situational awareness inside those first minutes set the stage for what followed. With the defenders blinded and leadership scrambling, what came next did not focus only on silos and air bases. The vulnerabilities extended deeper, into the heart of civilian infrastructure. And as the waves continued, the threat shifted from military strongholds to the electric lifeline that kept an entire city lit. Modern precision warfare isn't measured by whether defenses can stop a single missile. The real test is whether they can endure the tempo of 1,200 strikes packed into minutes. Each wave strains systems built for limited encounters, turning advanced shields into fragile illusions. The advantage lies not only in destruction, but in forcing constant doubt. Warships carrying these arsenals project more than firepower. They impose calculation, hesitation, and unease on any adversary. Tonight it was a scenario. Tomorrow the strategy of overwhelming saturation decides how nations measure both fear and restraint when counting the cost of opening the sky.